first.
That's nice.
I wanna study for the accounting one. Well, we have 2 left for accounting.
Yeah, the one that has to be done on Friday, then the one on Wednesday. Yeah. Like, okay,
We can make it. We
So
can
much
make
I
it.
can get my grade up. That's all I'm like.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have some questions on this quiz, some on the operations, but the concepts, I got the majority of them. So I don't know if you guys are all ready with the test, the quiz.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, just let me pull up mine.
I'm ready as well.
Just load in.
Would you guys like
Okay.
me to read?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Okay. Which of the following actions might we logically expect to result from rising stock prices? Jim decreases his consumption spending. Firms sell fewer shares of new stock. Firms spend more on investment, or none of the above is correct.
I chose C.
I'm sorry. Did we say C or A?
C. That's what I picked.
I said
C?
C as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, because the stocks are going up, so there's confidence. Now, if the stocks were dropping, then everybody's like, "Whoa, spending less."
Okay.
For the U.S. economy, money holdings are a large part of household wealth, and so the interest rate effect is large. Large part of household wealth, and so the wealth effect is large. Small part of household wealth, and so the interest rate effect is small, or small part of household wealth, and so the wealth effect is small.
I put D.
Yeah, D is where I was leaning on that one.
Okay.
A situation in which the Fed's target interest rate has fallen as far as it can fall is sometimes described as a liquidity preference, liquidity trap, open market trap, or interest rate contraction.
I chose B.
B.
B. If the Federal Reserve increases the money supply, then initially people will want to sell bonds so the interest rate rises, sell bonds so the interest rate falls, buy bonds so the interest rate rises, or buy bonds so the interest rate falls.
I chose D.
D.
Yeah, I was like, is it B or D?
D is delta.
I'm sorry.
Because when they
Okay.
increase the money supply,
Mhm.
they buy.
Okay. If the Feds conduct open market purchases, the money supply increases and aggregate demand shifts right, increases and aggregate demand shifts left, decreases and aggregate demand shifts right, or decreases and aggregate demand shifts left.
I chose A.
That's what I picked was A.
Okay.
According to liquidity preference theory, the opportunity cost of holding money is the interest rate on bonds, the inflation rate, the cost of converting bonds to a medium of exchange, the difference between the inflation rate and the interest rate on bonds.
I picked A.
I chose A.
I chose A as well.
According to liquidity preference theory, an increase in the price level shifts the money demand curve rightward, so the interest rate increases, money demand curve rightward, so the interest rate decreases, money demand curve leftward, so the interest rate decreases, or money demand curve leftward, so the interest rate increases.
I chose A.
I picked A as well.
Agreed. According to liquidity preference theory, the money supply curve is upward sloping, downward sloping, vertical, or horizontal.
I chose.
Is it B?
I chose D. Horizontal.
All right then.
B.
Do we all agree on D or B? Hello?
The money supply curve.
Let's check if this one has the same order as the test. Mhm. Correct reverse theory, the money supply curve is.
Come on, open this book.
Is it not C vertical?
I don't think so.
Is it horizontal? I don't remember.
Downward slope of the aggregate demand. Let's see.
Is it vertical? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't think it's vertical. Should I just continue while if someone reads up on which one it is, or do we want to wait?
Just trying to get that one.
The money supply is vertical.
It's vertical.
It is vertical.
Yeah, there's the graph,
Yeah.
figure 1 page or whatever. But in 21-1A, and it shows the money supply vertical.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll go vertical.
Which of the following events could explain a shift of the money demand curve from MD1 to MD2? A decrease in the price level, a decrease in the cost of borrowing, an increase in the price level, or an increase in the cost of borrowing?
I chose
Decrease in the
A.
price. A.
A.
Okay. Which of the following sequences best explains the negative slope of the aggregate demand? Price level up, demand for money down, equilibrium interest rate up, quantity of goods and services down. Price level up, demand for money up, equilibrium interest down, quantity of goods and services demanded down. Price level down, demand for money down, equilibrium interest rate down, quantity of goods and services demanded up. Price level down, equilibrium interest rate down, demand for money up, quantity of goods and services demanded up.
I was thinking it was B, but I was not sure.
I chose C.
C.
C is what I picked as well.
Okay. I'll write it down.
Other things the same as the price level rises.
Show me which ones are wrong.
Okay. Other things the same as the price level rises. I'm sorry. Would you like me to continue? I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
feel like I
continue. Yeah.
Okay. Other things the same as the price level rises, the interest rate rises, causing aggregate demand to shift. The interest rises, causing a movement along a given aggregate demand curve. The interest rate falls, causing aggregate demand to shift, or the interest rate falls, causing a movement along a given aggregate demand curve.
I picked B as in boy.
I chose B.
All right.
Yeah, I chose B as well.
Okay. B it is. Take the following information as given for a small imaginary economy. When income is 10,000, consumption spending is 6,500. When income is 11,000, 11,000, consumption spending is 7,250. The marginal propensity to consume for this economy is 0.650, 0.70750, 0.650, or 0.664, depending on whether income is 10,000 or 11,000 or 0.800.
I chose B.
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 Okay.
As real GDP falls. Oh, wait, go.
No, go ahead.
Okay. As real GDP falls, money demand rises, so the interest rate rises. Money demand rises, so the interest rate falls. Money demand falls, so the interest rate rises, or money demand falls, so the interest rate falls.
I chose D.
Yeah, I chose D.
Agreed.
What?
On 13. D.
On 13.
D. Yeah.
D. Yeah, D is what I picked.
Okay. If the MPC is 0.8 and there are no crowding out or accelerator effects, then an initial increase in the aggregate demand of 120 billion will eventually shift the aggregate demand curve to the right by 216 billion, 150 billion, 600 billion, or 480 billion.
C.
You got C.
C.
Agreed. The following facts apply to a small imaginary economy. Consumption spending is 6,720. When income is 8,000, consumption spending is 7,040. When income is 8,500. In response to which of the following events could aggregate demand increase by 1,500? A stock market boom stimulates consumer spending by 300, and there is an operative crowding out effect. A stock market boom stimulates consumer spending by $550, and there is a small operative crowding out effect. An economic boom overseas increases the demand for U.S. net export by $550, and there is no crowding out effect. Or an economic boom overseas increases the demand for U.S. net exports by 300, and there is no crowding out effect.
I chose B.
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 Yeah, agreed.
B is what I picked. Yeah.
Okay. 1 second, please. My thing just zoomed in a million. Suppose the multiplier has a value that exceeds 1 and there is no crowding out or investment in accelerator effects. Which of the following would shift aggregate demand to the right by more than the increase in expenditures? An increase in government expenditures, an increase in net exports, an increase in investment spending, or all of the above are correct?
All of the above?
All of the above.
Okay.
Yep. Suppose there was a large increase in net exports. If the Fed wanted to stabilize output, it could increase the money supply, which would reduce interest rates, decrease the money supply, which will reduce interest rates, increase the money supply, which will increase interest rates, or decrease the money supply, which will increase interest rates.
D.
I mean, excuse me.
Choose D.
D. Okay. The following questions, use the diagram below. Which of the following is correct? Unemployment rises as the economy moves from point A to point B. Either fiscal or monetary policy could be used to move the economy from point B to point A. If the economy is left alone, then as the economy moves from point B to long-run equilibrium, the price level will fall further, or all of the above are correct.
I put all of the above.
I know. So why would you keep that open? Get rid of that. Get rid of.
I don't know.
You chose all of the above, right?
Yeah, I chose D.
Okay.
Okay.
D. Yeah.
Which of the following policies would be advocated by proponent? Excuse me. Can someone say it for me?
Proponents.
Proponents. Yeah, of stabilization policy when the economy is experiencing severe unemployment, a decrease in the money supply, an increase in tax rate, an increase in government purchases, an increase in interest rates.
C.
Okay. Do we all agree? C?
C.
Opponents of active stabilization policy generally don't believe, even in theory, that fiscal policy can stabilize the economy, generally agree that fiscal policy has no impact in the long run, believe some effects of monetary policy may be long-lived, or think the Fed should simply try to fine-tune the economy.
I picked C.
I chose C.
Okay. I'm going to submit, and I'll tell you what we get.
I just submitted. We got a 20 out of 20.
Okay,
Great.
Sweet.
that's good.
Oh, and last week it was 6. That was the one that we had
Yeah.
wrong.
So which one did we think we had wrong last week?
6.
6 or 9, but it was 6 that was wrong. It was A.
Okay. All right.
Okay, guys, let me stop the broadcast then. And thank you for all the help during the semester.
Yeah, same.